Rob Flowers, head football coach, Muhlenberg High School. You are watching football on Football Night Flagship Network.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's all to me nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, I'm shit.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to ELCO High School Stadium here in Myerstown, Pennsylvania. It's Flagship Network football here, Friday night football, that is, on the Flagship Network, and it's our first game of 10 in a row. ELCO and West York will do battle here tonight. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our broadcast. My name is Max Gretzula. So happy to be back with you here in 2025 as we kick off a new season. Last week, we brought you a nice little pregame show, preseason show, if you will, and we gave you a lot of great analysis. And tonight, it all starts. Let's dive into some stats. Let's dive into what these two teams bring into the 2025 season, and we'll start with ELCO. ELCO, a team that went 1-4 to start the season last year, but showed grit. They finished 6-6 overall, actually won a playoff game against Octorara before losing in the next round. So a couple of key pieces gone from a year ago, including their starting quarterback, Steven Rosado. But they have a lot of grit, and they have a lot of fight, and we'll see if that can lead them to a victory here on their home turf. On the other side of things, Ron Miller for the West York Bulldogs came in a season ago, 9-3 record at the finish line. But 2 seasons ago, it was a nightmare to say the least. 0-10 overall. It's been a great turnaround. And you ask any West York Bulldog fan, they'll tell you the same thing. So it's going to be grit versus experience. Who's going to prevail here tonight? We will check it out and see what happens. Let's shout out some sponsors before we head to break. We'll have kickoff and starting lineups, right after this. But let's give a quick shout out to Dean's Auto Plaza, Palumbo Foods, Reading Raptors, Paolo's Restaurant, Footworks, and Berks County Views. We'll step aside, take our first break. Thanks for being with us here tonight from ELCO High School, and we will be right back.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Hey guys, we're heading into No Albies here in West Reading. We've got the West Reading French Fry Fest next Saturday, so we're gonna shoot a little content with Massimo in here for the Visit West Reading Instagram page.
Welcome back, everyone. Max Gretzel on the call with you tonight from ELCO High School. Appreciate everyone tuning in and joining us as we try to highlight the high school students, the colleges, and obviously the pros get a lot of spotlight. Why can't the high school kids and student athletes get it as well? So that's what we're going to do here tonight with the Flagship Network presented by B&B Media. ELCO with a squib kick to start this game. West York will start with the football on offense first, and they're going to start with pretty decent field position after the squib kick. The ELCO defense onto the field, and here comes the West York Bulldogs offense, who will see what they can do on their opening drive. Obviously a team who is experienced after the last 2 seasons, returned 11 starters on defense from a season ago, and their entire offensive line as well, super impressive. And I know there's a lot of excitement around the Bulldogs offense as we begin the season here in 2025. Always fun to start a new season, really no matter what the sport is, football especially. You know there's a lot of big football fans here in the state of Pennsylvania. And there's a big chunk yardage play on first down up across the 45-yard line. It's Aiden Wagner who takes over as the starting running back from last season. Only a sophomore, and it's a pretty healthy pickup on first down. And it's a fresh set of downs at that. Jensen Ferber, the sophomore, will start at the quarterback spot in 2025, and he gets it out quickly on the screen pass. It's Julius Madden on the reception, and the senior looking to pick back up where he left off a season ago. 732 receiving yards, 51 catches in 2024. The offensive line, clearly one of the strengths on paper, that is, for this West York Bulldog team. And they're showing they're flexing their muscle early on as Wagner gets another healthy carry up across midfield and into enemy territory. So the trenches are going to be a big storyline here early on, it seems. And the Bulldogs front is moving the defensive line of ELCO. Ferber steps up, fires on the near sideline. It goes incomplete. He was looking for Torres. So Ferber, on his second pass of the season, throws an incomplete one. And the ELCO defense finally gets a breather. There's a flag on the play. It's an ineligible receiver down the field. So that's going to actually back up the Bulldogs into their own territory. And not only do the ELCO Raiders get a breather on defense, they also are going to push that football back a little further. Almost back into their own territory. It's only going to be a 5-yard penalty instead of a 10. So it's first down and 15 from the 47-yard line of ELCO. It's a handoff to Wagner yet again between the tackles. He's brought down shy of the 40-yard line. And so far, so good for that offensive line of the Bulldogs. Tillison makes the tackle on that play for ELCO. Tillison, a guy to highlight. He's a senior. He's going to play tight end tonight and obviously start at the linebacker spot as well. A nice little screen pass here in open space, and running with the football is Madden. That's his second catch already on this opening drive. And the Bulldogs now nearing the red zone on their first possession offensively of this 2025 season. Beautiful night for football here. Beautiful view, too, up here from the press box as well. Ferber hands off to Wagner yet again. Plenty of room to work with. He cuts to the outside, and he's brought down officially at the 15-yard line. Wagner picks up 6. Second down and 4. Jensen will throw it out. Another screen pass, this time to the near sideline. Madden makes a man miss, and he's brought down after a short gain. It's going to be about a 3-yard pickup, maybe 4 on the play. And we'll see if that's good enough for a first down. I don't believe it is, but it's not going to matter anyway. It's a quick snap at the line of scrimmage, and there's a whistle. All right, third down, and it looks to be obviously short. And it's the handoff, and that one went to Wagner. He's upended pretty quickly. And now it's decision time for the Bulldogs. And they picked up the first down. So obviously a quick decision there to take the snap as Ferber fires to the end zone, and that's a mistake. It's intercepted at the goal line. Connor Showalter, who had a tackle earlier on this drive, plays hero on the opening drive defensively for ELCO. And they deny the Bulldogs of points. So ELCO is going to take over deep in their own territory, but Showalter, shout out to him, coming up with a big-time play early on in this first quarter. And I tell you what, honestly, it looked like the Bulldogs were moving quicker for me to even speak there as they neared the goal line. And I tell you what, maybe got a little out of character. Obviously had that first snap short, that quick one, and then the carry, able to maneuver them past the first down marker, fresh set of downs. And I think Ferber got a little excited, threw it into the danger zone. So Brindley Donmoyer, that is, will be the starting quarterback here in 2025 for an offense that looks to get the ball rolling with Gavin Yiser on the ground. He's a sophomore as well, so a couple of big-time names in the backfield. Yiser and Wagner will try to continue to propel their offenses forward here, and that's the fun thing about week one in football is you get a lot of different names, a lot of different schemes and whatnot. Obviously, what you saw there from the Bulldogs on the opening drive was passing, getting the ball out quickly, and Donmoyer and the ELCO Raiders look to do just the same. Yiser goes in motion. Donmoyer takes the snap, charges up the gut. He maneuvers past the 25-yard line. He's brought down shortly thereafter. And it looks like we have a Bulldog slowly getting up off the field. So we'll take a quick pause in the action, and we'll keep it here for you guys. And obviously for the Bulldogs, we see, oh, look at that, nice. The graphics team behind the scenes there. Shout out to a couple of our sponsors. Try to have some Madden fun there for the fans. Aiden Leach, the injured Bulldog, walks off the field under his own power, so that's good to see. The Bulldogs defense now trying to make a stand here. Again, mentioned in the open that they return all 11 starters from a season ago. That's unheard of, really, at any level of football, but they're going to lean on the defense here in 2025. And ELCO now, with a healthy start after the interception, they've had positive yards on back-to-back plays. And Donmoyer now in the gun again. Takes the snap. This time will keep it himself. Yiser continues to go in motion. A couple plays in a row there, and not too much doing as the defensive front able to push forward and make a big-time stop. Ellis Gensimer jogs off the field, another tailback that we should definitely highlight for you guys. We expect him to get the football pretty often tonight as well, but so far it's been Yiser, the main tailback. Yiser again in motion. Donmoyer again will keep it, and he's brought down immediately in the backfield. Oliver Eberle, the junior, in on the stop. And it's back-to-back positive plays for the Bulldogs defense. Under 7 to go in the first quarter. ELCO clearly wants to run the football early and often so far. We'll see if Donmoyer can get that arm going, just like Ferber did for West York. Gensimer now the tailback. Pistol formation for ELCO. High snap. Don Moyer scrambles out to the far sideline. Will keep it himself. Picks up a positive gain, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. And there's a penalty marker on the field. It's going to be a holding call against the offense. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty, and it's going to bring up 3rd and forever.
Number 6, you want the play or you want it back? Holding, here. Decline, 4th down.
West York declines the penalty call, so it's going to be 4th down and about 6. Punting unit comes on. Don Moyer in the offense, jogs off the field. Gensimer set to boot this one away. High snap, and it's not a great punt to say the least, but it's going to take a healthy ELCO bounce in the West York territory. Fielded there, far sideline rushing attempt, and it's Tavon Thomas who does something with nothing, to say the least. I mean, really flat-footed when he fielded that football, went up the far sideline. Another penalty marker down on the field, however. And I tell you what, if this is on West York, it would obviously sting. And it is a penalty on West York. So that's going to back them up into their own territory across midfield. And what could have been a disaster there for Gensimer after the punt and his team turns out to be positive overall when you look big picture. So Ferber and the offense back to work for their second offensive possession of this one. And I tell you what, that's a 15-yard penalty after the crackback block. Super impressive to see 2 sophomores out there. A couple of the main characters on this offense, that is Ferber and Wagner in the backfield. I tell you what, look at that offensive line for West York. You just see the size, really, as this game goes on. You expect to continue to play a factor. Pre-snap whistle. We'll take an official timeout. 6:10 to play in the first quarter. Back and forth battle. It's been a battle of the defenses so far. We'll step aside and be right back.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Welcome back to ELCO High School, everyone. Max Gretzel on the call with you. Appreciate all of our viewers jumping on and joining us here in 2025 on the Flagship Network. Shout out to the B&B media team behind the scenes. Got here early today to set everything up for you guys and myself as well. And it's a healthy carry there by Wagner. Massive tackle, however, by the defense. Wagner up quickly. And it's another positive gain, about 5-6 yards picked up on the play. It'll be 2nd down and short. Ferber takes the snap, this time gets it out quickly, and he finds a man in the slot. It's Garnett. Garnett has his first catch of the game. Jamin Garnett, yet another sophomore on this team. Ferber hands off. Wagner gets another carry, goes up the middle across midfield, and brought down just shy of the 45-yard line. Wagner and that offensive line continue to lean on ELCO. Past the halfway point now this first quarter, still 0-0. And I think if you're a Raiders fan, you have to take that early and often here tonight. Again, Wagner cuts up field, and he's taken down past the 40-yard line. That's going to be enough for a Bulldogs first down, so move the chains. And again, what you see so far is pretty impressive. Jensen Ferber, I should say, with Wagner in the backfield, or continue to push that football forward past the 40-yard line. It's Wagner yet again. This time it's a short yard gain, about 2 on the play. And that's one of the few times we've seen so far tonight the defensive front for ELCO really able to step up there. Paul Williams, number 51, one of the big-time tackles. And Wagner again upended after a short pickup. But, yeah, you see him right there, 51, Paul Williams, one of the starting tackles for ELCO. He's also a starting defensive end as well. So he's a big part of this team as a whole, not only on the field but off the field as well, as one of the leaders. After 2 short runs for Wagner, it's quickly 3rd down and 6. High snap. Ferber gets it out quickly in the slot. It's a pre-snap whistle. And I tell you what, Madden was about to be off to the races. But we have a stoppage.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty.
On the defense.
Well, that's going to be tough, obviously, for ELCO, who jumps off sides into the neutral zone. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. And we saw this earlier on the first drive for the Bulldogs. They actually took a quick snap, ran right up the middle for a 1 or 2 yard gain. This time it's Ferber, another high snap, hands to Wagner. He's got plenty of running room, and he dives forward past the 30-yard line, just shy of the 25. That's going to be enough for a West York first down. Bulldogs move quickly. Ferber gets it out into the slot yet again. Madden tries the far sideline. He's brought down after a gain of about 6 on the play. And it's a pretty solid offensive game plan so far for the Bulldogs. Hand the ball to Wagner with that great offensive line up front, returning all 5 members of that offensive line from last season, or getting the ball out quickly on those slants and into the slot. Madden now lines up in the left in the slot on the bottom of the screen, and he's going to get the catch on the near sideline. Tries to make a man miss, can't do so, but he's knocked out of bounds inside of or just shy of the 10-yard line, I should say. I tell you what, Wagner gets so much attention there in the backfield because he's gotten the ball so much early on in this game. Still in the first quarter, under 3 to play, and that RPO really playing a factor now. Ferber hands off to Wagner. Wagner's got some running room, and he charges into the end zone for a West York touchdown. Aiden Wagner, well-deserved, getting his number called early and often here, and he has the first Bulldogs touchdown of 2025. Tyler Kuhn, number 33, on for West York to try to knock through this PAT. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 7-0 Bulldogs. We'll step aside, take another break. Be right back after this.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
It's a 55-yard drive capped off by an Aiden Wagner rushing touchdown. 7-0 Bulldogs. ELCO will get the ball back, trying to get their offense grooving. And not only that, give their defense a break. They've been out there for a while here in the first quarter. .245 to play in the opening stanza. 7-0 Bulldogs. And Kuhn now set to kick off. Pretty healthy kick there. And way to maneuver there from the ELCO offense. Gavin Yiser, that is. My apologies. Looking at the wrong sheet here. Yiser with a healthy return. Kind of stumbled there as he caught that football, but able to stay on his feet and give ELCO an opportunity now with the ball marked past the 30-yard line, make it the 32 to be exact. Solid field position to start a drive, I'd say, and Donamoyer back to work offensively at the quarterback position. Gensimer now the tailback. Core goes in motion, and it's a rush up the middle. Donamoyer keeps. Picks up 4 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. Number 9, Nathaniel Zimmerman, subs into the game. And he swings out high. 3 receiver set. Core in motion yet again. Donamoyer will throw this time, and he's got an open man across the 45-yard line. And it's Caden Tillison, the senior, on the reception. ELCO moves the chains on that note. Ball marked at the 47-yard line. It's a fresh set of downs. Griffin Kreider, number 10, into the huddle. And ELCO continues to sub in and out, keep those bodies fresh. So far, it's worked on this drive. Core gets the carry, and there's just nowhere to go as he runs in circles, and he's brought down by a handful of white jerseys. Yiser into the game. Core comes off. And what we've seen so far, Core in motion, Yiser in motion a ton as well. And we expect to see that continue. Donamoyer swings one out. And Yiser gets upended there, but he makes the reception. So give him credit. That's another positive gain. But obviously it hurts having Core lose those yardage. 3rd down and 12. Timeout on the field. It's the end of the first quarter here at ELCO. It's 7-0 Bulldogs.
Hey guys, we're heading into No Albies here in West Reading. We've got the West Reading French Fry Fest next Saturday, so we're gonna shoot a little content with Massimo in here for the Visit West Reading Instagram page.
Back out of a timeout. 7-0 Bulldogs. Shout out to the band. I'm sure they're excited here as they begin a new school year. Not excited about that, but excited about seeing some of their friends again and obviously hanging out here on a Friday night. Nothing better than Friday night lights, especially as a student athlete as they begin their weekends. I always knew how that felt. We've flipped sides of the field here. Again, it's 3rd down and 12. Don Moyer in the backfield. Takes the snap. Gensimer looking to pick up a block. He does. Don Moyer's hammered, and the pass goes incomplete. Trostel there applying the pressure on Don Moyer, and that brings up a 4th down and 12. Give credit to Gensimer there, the tailback, picking up a block just in time for Don Moyer to get rid of that football, just not accurate enough to complete the pass. Don Moyer stays in the huddle here on 4th down and 12. Obviously, at the high school level, anywhere around midfield is somewhat in no man's land. So, timeout on the field. West York calls time. And we'll keep things here as should be a relatively short timeout, but so far so good for West York. Honestly, the way this is going, if you're just joining us, it was Gensimer, or I should say Ferber, who threw that interception on the opening drive for West York, and it seemed as though ELCO was going to take some momentum. Problem was, it was on the goal line, so obviously not great field position for ELCO after the interception, and their next drive stalled out, but seems as though the Bulldogs have really dominated this game from top to bottom. But overall speaking, only 7-0 here in the second quarter. And I think you'd take that so far if you've seen this game from the start, the way the Bulldogs have played, especially offensively. Obviously, West York on a thrill ride last year, finished the season 9-3. Year prior, finished 0-10. Don Moyer could punt this one away. Empty backfield. He's pretty deep. Takes the snap. It's high. And he maneuvers around one defender and boots one down the far sideline and out of bounds. We'll see where the refs mark this one. And it's going to be marked at the 30-yard line of West York. So that's where the next drive will start for Ferber and company. Jensen Ferber, the sophomore, listed at 6'1", 176. Pretty confident young man so far in this game. Has been pretty accurate, too, as well. Really has a good form. And has been hitting his receivers consistently. Hands off. And taking the carry is Fuentes Bream. That's his first touch of the game here in the second quarter. Julius Fuentes Bream, the junior. Big body, too, 6'3", 196. He's going to give Wagner a breather on this drive at the running back position, it looks like. Quick snap for the Bulldogs offense. Saban Kramer has his first touch of the game. And the ball's now marked at midfield. So Coach Miller getting some different players' touches here early stages of the second quarter. Fuentes Bream will try the opposite side this time, and he has a pickup of about 4 yards on the play.
We'll go back.
Penalty marker on the field. Penalty's going to go against the Bulldogs. Ten-yard penalty on the hold. It'll be first down and 20. Coach Miller on that note, got to smirk a little bit, gets Wagner back into the game on that note. Catches what pass in the flat, turns the corner, has plenty of room to work with, and he gets all of it back on that play. Great play design by the Bulldogs offense. Ferber able to hit Wagner on the run in the flat. Wagner has a pickup of 10, and we start over here on this drive. It's second down and 10 after going from first and 20. Ferber, low pass thrown into the turf. And that's really, in my opinion, outside of the interception from Ferber, the first inaccurate pass since then. I think looking back on that interception, too, after the offense of West York was just consistently moving the football down the field, maybe Ferber getting a little risky, throwing one up to his receiver. Obviously, man-to-man coverage down there previously on the goal line. Just wrong place, wrong time. Ferber back to pass. It's a deep one over the middle of the field, and it goes incomplete. He was looking for Conrad Beatty over the middle. So after the second down and 10 pass goes incomplete, it'll be third down and long. Trossel in motion. Or fourth down, excuse me. And that's just going to be punted down the sideline. Interesting decision there. But obviously understandable. And my apologies. Obviously the third down pass went incomplete. And kind of took me by surprise there because Ferber, that's his first deep ball of the game. So ELCO's defense holds strong. I think taking you back to the open as well, you talk about the grit and toughness a season ago for ELCO. Again, started the season 1-4, finished 6-6 overall, won a playoff game as well. But they're always tested being in the section that they are. Ball's on the deck. And the West York Bulldogs force a turnover. Slade Moore, one of the big pieces on that offensive line for West York, dives on the football. And that sets up Ferber and company with excellent field position. So just as I give ELCO credit for their grit and toughness, they make a mistake, and obviously this one couldn't have come at a worse time. 7-0 West York, 10:03 to play in the second quarter. Ferber, obviously frustrated after how that last series just went, looks to do some damage. Fires a deep one towards the end zone. It's caught, and scoring on the play is Torres. Well, you sensed it with Ferber kind of jogging onto the field pretty quickly after how last series went. And he smelled blood in the water. Credit Torres to get open on that far sideline. And West York strikes again. It's 13-0 pending the extra point. Kuhn on for the PAT. He's 1 of 1 so far in that category. Can't take these ones for granted, I should say. Kick is up. And the kick is good. 14-0 West York. They capitalize off the fumble from ELCO. We'll step aside. Be right back. Well, if you were with us in 2024, turnovers played a massive role in some of the outcomes of the games our team was able to broadcast, and truly that's the case in any sport. And that's a perfect example of it on that most recent possession for ELCO. Got to keep their heads up, however, on their home turf. They'll get the football back. The eyes are on the return. He's hit hard and brought down around the 25-yard line. So Don Moore and the offense have to put last series behind them and move the football here on this drive. Haven't been able to do just that yet. Still early stages of this second quarter. Gensimer, the tailback. Tillison, bottom of your screen, man-to-man coverage. Yizer goes in motion. Don Moyer spins out. He's pressured, and he lost the football yet again. Jackson Ferber, the brother of the quarterback for West York, comes away with the strip. And on back-to-back possessions, the Bulldogs, force a turnover. Jensen Ferber, we'll see if he smells blood in the water yet again. He gets the ball out quickly to Julius Madden, who scampers into the end zone for a West York touchdown. On back-to-back plays for the ELCO offense, they turn the football over, and on back-to-back plays for the West York offense, they capitalize with touchdowns. One goes to Torres, the next one goes to Madden, and just like that, it's 20-0 Bulldogs. Kuhn all of a sudden becoming a busy man at the kicker spot. He's on for another PAT. Kick is up. The kick is good yet again. 21-0 your score. We'll see if ELCO can mount a charge when we come back.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Well, you have to give credit to the West York defense coming up with some massive plays. And that has quickly quieted the crowd here at ELCO High School. Home team trails 21-0. Another solid kick. It's Yiser on the return yet again from the 10-yard line. Trying to find some blockers, and he just can't. Big-time tackle there from Fuentes Bream. And I think he did some taunting there after the play. We have a penalty marker down. And I tell you what, if you're Coach Miller from West York, not what you want to see out of your players after you're finally mounting a charge offensively. And the last thing you want to do is give any sort of momentum to the opposition. It's a 15-yard penalty. You kind of heard it right there after the unsportsmanlike conduct play on number 9 for West York, Fuentes Bream.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 9, first down.
Well, I'm sure he'll get an earful from his head coach, but nevertheless, it's a 15-yard penalty. It'll move the ball closer towards midfield, and Don Moyer quickly has to put the last 2 possessions behind him. I'm sure if he had that last possession back, he'd probably get rid of that football a little bit more quickly. You see Yiser and Gessimer in the backfield, and for obvious reasons, the pressure has been there consistently from the West York front. Don Moyer's been running for his life for the most part. Garnett, number 11, coming off of that far edge. Yiser goes in motion, gets the catch, makes one man miss, makes another man miss. He's got some running room down the near sideline. Yiser trying to outrun them all, has one man to beat, and he's still going just shy of the goal line. Don Moyer gets the ball out quickly, and Yiser takes it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Yiser comes off the field after that long run. Core jogs onto the field. It's first down and goal from the 1. Griffin Kreider, number 10, goes out wide. Don Moyer spreading that West York defense. He's under center now. Gensimer, the tailback. Don Moyer will keep it himself. Turn the corner, and he's in for an ELCO touchdown. Just what the doctor ordered for ELCO. Down 21-0. They strike quickly on their home turf, and the band gets going here tonight. Number 41, Austin Smith, on the kick, a PAT for the first time here tonight. Mentioned earlier that you can't take these for granted. Hopefully, he can boot one through. The senior, experienced. Kick is up. Kick is good. 21-7, ELCO strikes quickly. We'll step aside and be right back. After a sluggish start offensively for both teams, it's quickly 21-7 with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. So plenty of action if you're joining us for the first week of these 10 weeks of Friday Night Football on the Flagship Network. It's been an entertaining start, to say the least, and we appreciate everyone joining us around the counties here in Pennsylvania. Again, Max Gretzel on the call with you guys, and ELCO now has some momentum. Can their defense keep it going is the question. Ferber and the offense for West York obviously feeling confident in this moment, having scored on back-to-back passing plays. Julius Fuentes-Bream picks up the squib kick, and it's pretty healthy field position to start on that note for West York. Ball's going to be marked at the 35-yard line. Well, it's been number 4, Wagner, for West York, the main bell cow, and I think Yeiser got sick and tired of seeing him run up and down the field. Had to make something happen himself, and he did so for the ELCO offense. Now it's Ferber. He'll hand to Wagner, and it's a pickup of about 3 on the play. Ferber gets the ball out quickly, hits Madden, and he's got plenty of room to work with. He's past the 45-yard line and brought down just shy of the 50. Madden already has a touchdown in this one, and he's starting to rack up the yards as well. Ferber, deep shot, far sideline. Got a man. It's caught. Still on his feet goes Torres. And it's a massive pickup on the play offensively for this West York team, who continues to move the football at a high level. Madden and Torres, top of your screen, number 2 and number 13. Ferber instead will go to the bottom of your screen. This time it's Beatty. He's still on his feet inside the 10 and brought down just past that. Ferber with 3 straight passing attempts, hitting 3 separate receivers. He takes the snap. He'll hand to Wagner, tries the left side, charges past the 5-yard line, and brought down at the 4. We have an injured Raider on the field, getting up under his own power, however. And Ferber continues to cook offensively, as the kids say. Looks like the injured Raider, I hate to say it, but it's the quarterback, Brindley Donmoyer, who plays the quarterback position, but obviously a two-way player at the linebacker spot as well. Will step aside, 7:22 to play in the second quarter. Back out of a timeout, Max Gretzel with you. Don Moore, the starting quarterback, shaken up on the play. And it's the freshman, Jaden Rivera, taking some snaps. Number 19, you see him there. And it looks like his teammates they got his back, obviously. They're going to have to go to battle with him just in case Don Moyer isn't ready to come back into this game. And I tell you what, in week 1, if you're Rivera, the last thing you expect is to come to this ball game at all. Paul Williams in on the stop. And Williams has his QB's back on that play out of a timeout. One of the few negative plays for Wagner at the tailback position for West York. Ball's marked at the 6-yard line. It's a loss of 2. Ferber takes the snap. Wagner gets it again, galloping past one body on the turf, and he's brought down at the 5. So the ELCO defensive line continues to flex their muscle on back-to-back plays now, trying to deny West York of their 3rd touchdown in 3 straight offensive possessions. We'll keep you updated on Don Moyer when we have more, but expect Rivera to get some snaps at the quarterback spot as a freshman. Ferber takes the snap, scrambles to his left, has pretty much no one in front of him, but he kind of was indecisive for the most part, and he's tackled out of bounds around the 4. It almost looked like he wanted to throw it to Madden, but also in the back of his mind thought he could get to the goal line and the pylon more likely. Couldn't do so, and the ball's now, again, marked at the 4-yard line, and I tell you what, credit this ELCO defense. Ferber now under center. Wagner behind him. And here we go, some motion. 4th down. Ferber scrambles to his right, fires. It's caught by Madden, but the defense holds. Hunter McAfee, the senior, in on the stop, number 16. And ELCO denies West York of another touchdown. I tell you what, super impressive. And here comes the grit and toughness that we talked about in the open. 21-0 down on their home turf, able to show some fight, go down and score offensively. And now, even with their starting quarterback shaken up, we'll see if Don Moyer is able to come back into the game. And on that note, here he comes, number 2, into the huddle. So not only are they able to deny West York, they get their quarterback into the huddle yet again, and just being able to get over the goal line and save a safety is Gessimer. So Gessimer, obviously, the bigger back compared to Geyser. Great to see Don Moyer back in the huddle. Well, we saw this last time. That was on the opening possession after West York and Ferber threw that interception. It was great to see, obviously, if you're an ELCO fan, but they weren't able to do much with it. Don Moyer going to lob one up down the near sideline, and could be some pass interference there on the play. I don't see a flag on the play. That's an interesting call there. Tillison was the intended target. Sun now setting here at ELCO High School. Clock stopped at 5:12, that is. It's a 3rd down and 13. Again, it was a 2-yard loss on the handoff to Gessimer on 1st down. Don Moore able to get that defensive line to jump offside on the defense and pick your poison. I think 4 white jerseys jumped across the line. So now some breathing room for ELCO to try to make something happen here. 3rd down and 8. Arguably the biggest play of the game for the Raiders. Can they keep this possession alive? Or will they have to punt from their own end zone? Both ends of the spectrum on the table here. What's it going to be? Gensimer in the backfield, as is Geyser. Two of the better playmakers for this team. And we have a whistle. And yet again, the white jerseys jump into the neutral zone. About 3 of them that time.
Remains third down.
Well, you have Slade Moore on that defensive front. Jackson Ferber. And on back-to-back plays, ELCO all of a sudden gets 10 free yards combined. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. And if you want to get a little risky here, do you run it twice and try to just extend the drive as best you can? Looks like Don Moore is going to be in the pistol formation. Gensimer behind him. Smart by Don Moore trying to get the Bulldogs front to jump yet again for the 3rd time in a row, and not going to happen this time. Raiders will take a timeout. We'll keep things here. Super entertaining, super fun so far. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Max Gretzula for B&B Media and the Flagship Network. 21-7 your score. ELCO showing some fight, specifically on the defensive end, and obviously they had that big chunk play by Geyser, who ran down the near sideline all the way to the 1. And they were able to cap off a touchdown drive on that note. Beautiful view here from our press box as well. You can see for miles here at ELCO High School. Sun almost fully set. Lights almost on fully here in Myerstown. Great to have football back again. The NFL kicks off a week from tonight, or I should say 6 days from now, and we're going to have some college football as well this weekend, so a lot of fun that you guys are a part of it with us. Don Moyer scrambling for his life, and just not what you want to see coming out of a timeout. Credit Logan Boyer, the sophomore, who came in on the stop, number 57. It's 4th down. Interesting play call there from Coach Miller. It was 3rd and 2, and he decided to throw the football. I get it. But again, you know, and you've seen so far tonight as viewers watching, Don Moyer has been running for his life back there. Just doesn't have the protection so far. It's a low snap. Don Moyer able to get a pretty solid boot, or for the most part, but it's not going to be anywhere near what you would have expected after the 3rd down and 2. At least he got it away, and it wasn't a turnover. But in a way, indirectly, it was, as the ball is now marked at the 15-yard line. From my vantage point, thought he got just a little bit more on that kick, but it was more of a rainbow. And now, Ferber, who was denied about 10 minutes ago in real time, is now back on the field. Can the ELCO defense hold yet again? Ferber hands to Wagner, goes between the tackles, and he's brought down at the 10. It's a 5-yard pickup for number 4. The clock continues to run, nearing the 4-minute mark of this second quarter. Ferber again will hand to Wagner. Charges up the gut inside of the 5-yard line and brought down shortly after. Same story as the previous drive. Ball marked at the 4. It's 3rd down. Or excuse me, that's good enough for a 1st down, I should say. So not the same story, but in a way it kind of is yet again, because that defensive front continues to play at a high level. Wagner on 1st down. That last possession was upended, lost a couple of yards, and 1st down and goal here, same thing happens. That's a negative play. It'll bring up a 2nd down. Ball is marked on the 7. Again, clock continues to wind. West York started the game with the football. ELCO will get the ball out of the half. It's a pitch play. And it's read well by the defensive front. Yiser in on the stop. Or excuse me, that was Zimmerman in on the stop. The freshman. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down. And now I can officially say, same story as last drive for the Bulldogs. Receivers spread wide. Wagner to the right of Ferber. Ferber takes the snap, throws it out quickly. Wagner looking for some blockers. He has a few, but he's just shy of the goal line. And now it's 4th down and about 1. Ferber and the offense move quickly. Well, there's a whistle. And ELCO calls a very smart timeout, in my opinion. We'll step aside. 2:10 to play until halftime. 4th down coming your way. Back here to the timeout. 4th down and goal. Ball is marked at the 1-yard line for the Bulldogs offense. ELCO, on their previous possession defensively, was able to hold. And can they do it again? We shall see. Ferber quickly to the line. Takes the snap, and he charges his way into the end zone for an easy Bulldogs touchdown. Just too many mistakes, that is, so far for ELCO. And obviously have asked a lot of their defense. Just like that, 27-7 is your score, pending the extra point. Kuhn on for his 4th extra point attempt of the night. So far, he's 3 for 3. And he wears number 33. Kick is up. And like clockwork so far, it's good. 28-7 your score. ELCO's offense back on the field after this.
Hey guys, we're heading into No Albies here in West Reading. We've got the West Reading French Fry Fest next Saturday, so we're gonna shoot a little content with Massimo in here for the Visit West Reading Instagram page.
Sun goes down, the lights go up here on a Friday night. West York and ELCO doing battle. Just over 2 minutes to play until halftime. West York continues to capitalize for the most part off of the ELCO turnovers. Yiser fields it at the 6, looking for some running room, and there's just nothing doing on these returns for the Raiders. Got to give credit to West York and that coverage team. Trostel has been a problem on special teams and defense so far here tonight. Nice cleats, too, there from Trostel. Well, at one point we were questioning if Don Moyer was going to remain in this game after he was injured as a linebacker a couple of possessions ago, but he stays in there. Gensimer, number 5, the tailback. And as this game goes on, will that offensive line finally wear thin with the power of the defensive line of West York? We shall see. 1st and 10 from the 20. Don Moyer takes the snap, gets the ball out quickly. It's up in the air. It's actually ricocheted and caught by Yiser. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Right place, right time by Yiser, trying to work quickly as we're under 2 to play. Move the change. It's a fresh set of downs. Don Moyer trying to settle the offense here, get them set. Takes the snap, again, gets it out quickly. Yiser has another catch. It's good for about 3, and he's brought down there. A little bit of tempo here. Kind of forced tempo with only a minute 30 remaining. And Coach Miller for West York obviously realizes that, calls it timeout. So tempo isn't something we've seen a lot from ELCO here tonight. We've seen a lot of it from West York. And we will see if that plays a factor here for the defense of the Bulldogs. Have to try something different when things aren't going your way. Obviously down 3 touchdowns. And points here before the half would be huge, especially with ELCO getting the football to begin the second half. Had a story pregame about the facilities here in the weight room and training room for ELCO getting remodeled. That is complete, so I'm sure they're happy about that. Able to get back in the weight room and nice, fresh training staff and training room, I guess is a better way to put it. But it's always tough when, you know, you're going through renovations, have to makeshift some of your workouts and whatnot. So hopefully that plays a factor if you're an ELCO fan here in 2025. Out of a break, Don Moyer fires a deep one down the near sideline, and it's complete. And Tillison is on the reception there. Again, working quickly for obvious reasons. And Tillison, who actually had a similar play earlier in this ball game, unable to draw that pass interference play this time, he goes up and says, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. Man-to-man coverage. Bigger guy usually wins. And that's what you see right there. In enemy territory, Don Moyer, Yiser, and it goes incomplete. Dangerous pass as Torres almost picked that one off. The ball had a little bit more air on it, and I tell you what, he may have ran forever. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:14 to play. Probably the last thing ELCO wanted here was the clock to stop, but that just means West York has more time to rest on defense, and that's the last thing you want to do, especially with the chemistry this team has, all 11 starters back from a season ago on the defense for the Bulldogs. Stacked box. Looks like a blitz could be coming. Linebackers back off. Don Moyer trying to escape some pressure. Can't do so, and he's brought down. Bulldogs winning those one-on-one matchups up front. Moore, Ferber, Dickerson, all having their way. Timeout on the field, 1:03 to play. We'll keep things here. Had a tip pass ricochet by Yiser, which was caught, and then a deep ball down the ELCO sideline, caught by Tillison. And those have been the big plays on this drive. Again, still pretty far away from field goal positioning. And I don't know. You guys tell me, which one of those plays are you picking? I have no idea. Not taking the handoff with 1:03 to play. I guess I had to hit the X button there. Ball is marked at the 33-yard line. 3rd down and 11. ELCO will obviously get 2 tries at it. Geyser goes in motion. Don Moyer, again running for his life, has to get rid of it, and he doesn't. Drossel having his way on defense. It's a sack for number 1. West York now with the opportunity to call timeout, and they do. So West York will have possession with 50 seconds to play until halftime. Fourth down and 17. Don Moyer remains in the game in the offense at that. Don Moyer back to pass on 4th and 17. And I tell you what, interesting play call there is Garnett is in on the sack. So on back-to-back big-time plays, 3rd and 11, 4th and 17, the West York defense comes up with 2 huge sacks as we near halftime. And with the chains of possession, that stops the clock. And I don't know if most people would agree with that call. You also have the opportunity to punt and kind of pin West York deep in their own territory. But now they have the ball at the 44-yard line of the Raiders. Empty backfield. Gerber gets it out quickly. And it's Fuentes Bream on the reception. Five wide receivers set, empty backfield. Ferber with all day to throw, winds up, fires over the middle. It's caught. And maneuvering past a couple of defenders goes Torres. Already has a touchdown here tonight, and that's his 3rd big-time reception of 20-plus yards on the evening. And, wow, that's going to hurt the offense there. You just heard it. Ineligible man downfield on West York. So with 30 seconds to play, that backs them up deeper in their own territory. If you're ELCO, you're just thankful that the penalty was called with only 30 seconds left. I know it's a short period of time, but
offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Only a 5-yard penalty, but that's just a slap on the wrist compared to what chunk play could have taken place if there was none. Ferber again, back to pass, winds up, fires down the middle. His receiver had to step, but it goes incomplete. Looking for Fuentes Bream. Julius Fuentes Bream wears number 7. His brother, Ibrahim Fuentes Bream, wears number 9. So with 24 seconds to play, it's 3rd down and 13 from the 44. Ferber continues to work with an empty backfield for obvious reasons as he takes the snap. Looks to scramble and maneuvers past midfield and gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 15 seconds to play until the half. He's going to be short of 1st down yardage, which is going to bring up a 4th down and 2. Ferber again, loading up, going deep, perfect spiral. Look at that, and it's incomplete. Fuentes Bream had a shot at it. It was a great ball there from Ferber. Really has the mechanics down at such a young age as a 10th grader. So the Bulldogs turn the football over on downs. Eight seconds to play until half, and what became I guess a better way to put it would be what was a very fast opening 2 quarters has slowed a little bit here. 8 seconds again to be, or I should say 7 seconds to work with here until the half. It'll be first down and 10 from the 48-yard line. And you're just hoping for a prayer at this point if you're an ELCO Raider. Again, ELCO will get the football out of the break. The last thing you want to do here is have anything crazy happen as far as a turnover, fumble. And we have a whistle and a penalty marker down.
Legal substitution, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Too many on the field for the Raiders. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down. Dunmoyer is sacked.
Well, that's a tough way to end the first half if you're Don Moyer. I mean, he took that snap and immediately was clobbered in the backfield. The sacks are starting to add up now for this West York team, and they take the momentum into the break. 28-7 your score, ELCO and West York. It's week 1 on the Flagship Network. We'll step aside, see you for the halftime report right after this.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Albies here in West Reading. We've got the West Reading French Fry Fest next Saturday, so we're gonna shoot a little content with Massimo in here for the Visit West Reading Instagram page.
Welcome back, everyone. It's halftime here at ELCO High School. It's 28-7 your score. West York leads. And it's been a pretty back-and-forth battle for the most part, minus the turnovers. That's been the biggest thing that's told the biggest story here tonight overall. For the most part, it's really been Ferber and Wagner in the backfield at the quarterback spot and the running back spot for West York. Those big-time plays with Madden and Fuentes Bream, at the wide receiver spots too. So ELCO really still battling in the trenches. That's also going to be a tall task for them in the second half. A couple of big bodies wearing on each other, but the defensive line and offensive line for West York seems to just be bigger, stronger, and more physical, and that's told the story with the score as it is right now, 28-7 your score overall. Let's talk about Ferber real quick. He's been very accurate for the most part here tonight. Obviously, the interception on the opening drive was detrimental, but it didn't result in a touchdown for ELCO, which was obviously the most important thing if you're a West York fan. For ELCO, Yizer and company in the backfield have put on the show, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. We've seen that multiple times, and especially on that reception from Yizer on the swing pass. He was able to take it all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that resulted in ELCO's first and only score of the evening. So second half, what we look forward to, the quarterback spot, Don Moore has been getting riled up and thrown around in the backfield. The offensive line for ELCO just cannot hold up for them right now. West York is having their way in the trenches on both sides of the ball, I guess is a better way to put it. But will Don Moore be able to settle the offense down, continue to get the ball out quickly? I think that's the biggest thing. If he's able to do that, get the ball out quickly, and try to create some rushing attempts for the running backs, the offensive line is going to have to step up here in the second half. So offensive line for ELCO, and obviously the quarterback spot, Don Moyer, just being able to escape pressure, I think is the biggest thing. The ELCO defense hasn't played bad. I know the score tells a different story, but overall, if you watch this game from the beginning to where we are now, the defense has had some pretty big stops, especially around the goal line, and they're going to need that to continue if they want to have any shot of getting back into this game. So, again, thanks for joining us here tonight. Max Gretzula on the call, and we will see you for second half action right here from ELCO High School in Myerstown, Pennsylvania.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
It wasn't an invite, you invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Henne. Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to tell me that this is really work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Hey guys, we're heading into No Albies here in West Reading. We've got the West Reading French Fry Fest next Saturday, so we're gonna shoot a little content with Massimo in here for the Visit West Reading Instagram page.
We're pretty big. Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Welcome back in, everyone. Max Gretzel on the call from ELCO High School with all of you. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Second half action starts now, and it's a 28-7 lead for West York. Kuhn to kick off here as we begin the second half. Tillison fields this one, tries the far sideline, has some room to work with, and he's tackled around the 30-yard line. So finally, some healthy field position for an ELCO offense that's struggled here so far tonight. Well, time of possession has been key so far. And ELCO hasn't been able to hold the ball for too long. Their defense has been gassed in that first half. Gessimer gets the carry this time, charges forward for about 6. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 4. And I think that's the key. Is ELCO going to be able to run the football at a higher level than they did in the first half? It'll shorten the game. Keep them within striking distance, hopefully, is their goal. And honestly, even more so, keep their defense on the sideline and let them catch their breath. Still Gensimer in the backfield. The eyes are in motion. Don Moyer lost the football. There's a penalty marker down, or excuse me, not a penalty marker, but it looked like it looked like Don Moore was able to fall back on it. He was, but again, we just talked about the mistakes have cost ELCO, and not only that, where on the field they have occurred. Twice they fumbled the football in their own red zone, and that's resulted in 2 West York touchdowns. This time the ball bounces the Raiders' way. They keep possession. It's 3rd down and 9. Ball's marked at the 37-yard line. Just 1 minute gone by here in the third quarter. Massive play for the Raiders. Don Moyer back to pass. This time had a relatively clean pocket momentarily in the 3-step drop, but he's brought down. And it's Johnny Dickerson, the junior, on the stop. He's credited with the sack. And the Raiders will have to punt this one away on their opening possession of the second half. Don Moyer had a short period of time with a 3-step drop. Couldn't find a receiver. And it's 3 and out. Don Moyer this time gets a little bit better of a punt than he's been accustomed to seeing. It's fielded by Thomas. Makes a couple of men miss, but doesn't result in too many yards. Ball's going to be marked at the 43-yard line. And yet again, field position has also told the story here tonight. West York with some healthy field position on their first possession of this third quarter. Again, we mentioned the time of possession as well. Only 2+ minutes gone off the clock on the first possession of this second half for ELCO. Jensen Ferber has been one of the main characters offensively. Obviously, he's the quarterback, but he's been pretty accurate minus the interception. Gets it out quickly to the near sideline. It's Madden, makes one man miss. Now another as he scampers his way past the 50-yard line and into enemy territory. Madden continues to work well as a receiver in tight space. Ball's marked at the 48-yard line of the Raiders. Haven't seen too much running from Ferber here tonight as he takes the snap and hands off to his tailback. Another healthy pickup, and that's going to be good enough for a West York first down. It was Kramer on the carry. And we're going to take a quick timeout for an injured Raider. It's Tillison. Can't afford to lose him. And we will step aside and be right back after this.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Out of a timeout, Tillison was able to jog off under his own power. Deep ball down the far sideline. He's got a man, just not accurate with his receiver that time was Ferber, as Torres was the intended target. Torres had about 3, maybe 4 steps on the D-back, but unable to connect that time was Ferber. That'll bring up a second down and 10. Kramer's still the tailback, number 8. Ferber with an RPO gets it out quickly to Madden. Madden between 2 defenders, now 3, and he's brought down at the 35-yard line. Madden so shifty in open space, really hard to stop and bring down. Only listed at 5'8", but he's crafty. And he continues to rack up the yards after the catch here tonight. Third and 1. Hand off to Kramer. There's nowhere to go. Great defensive stop there by the Raiders. It was Williams, number 51, who came in on the stop and denies the Bulldogs of an easy first down. It's going to be now 4th down and 1. So what do you do here? Do you do a QB sneak or do you hand to Kramer again? We shall see. QB sneak is on. Ferber able to break through. And he picks up the first down and then some. Surprised they didn't just do that on 3rd down, but nevertheless, they get what they need. It's a fresh set of downs. Ball's marked at the 26. Hand off to Kramer, makes one man miss, loses his footing. And it looks like Slade Moore, the starting center for West York, is shaken up on the play. It's a pickup of 5. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. And Moore, one of the senior leaders in the trenches, jogs off the field under his own power. And on the other hand, Tillison, number 7, the freshman, is shaken up for ELCO. Luckily, it just looks like a cramp for both players. Let's give you a promo for next week. It'll be our Week 2 matchup here, Friday Night Football on the Flagship Network. Manheim Township will take on Central York. And that'll be next Friday night at 7 p.m., Week 2 of our 10-week schedule here on the Flagship Network presented by B&B Media. Myself, Max Kretzel, will be there with you. And that'll be a fun one. Manheim Township coming off a very successful season, but they've had some turnover. And we'll see what happens when they clash with Central York. Tillison, you see him there jogging to the near sideline, and he seems to be okay. Get some hydration in him. Skipped the Gatorade bottles, went right to the Powerade. Fair enough. The handoff goes to Kramer. He tries the left side, and he's inside the 15-yard line. So a healthy possession here offensively for West York. They continue to move the football both through the air and on the ground. One thing that stood out tonight has been the pace of this offense, and Just like that, another touchdown as Garnett gets his name in the touchdown column. But the pace has really picked up throughout, and it rears its head yet again here as the ELCO defense looks gassed, and that's one thing we mentioned at the half. Would they be able to keep pace in the trenches? And so far, Ferber has had all day to throw. No pressure being applied by the ELCO front, and it's now 34-7. Too easy there for Garnett, but he's fired up for good reason. He'll take it. Kuhn on for another PAT. He's 4 of 4 tonight. Looking to make it a perfect 5 of 5. Kick is up. And the kick is good. 35-7 your score. West York continues to pour it on the road here in week 1. We'll step aside and see if ELCO can answer right after this.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Back out of a timeout. Kuhn set to kick off yet again. ELCO would get the ball back. Yiser Fields at his own 10-yard line. And again, just not much doing on the returns as he's hammered. Cannot get any running room going. It's just been that kind of night for the coverage team of West York. Jackson and Smith in on the stop. Field position and turnovers have told a big story here tonight. And ELCO just cannot find any positive field position, and they can't return any chunk yardage on these kickoffs. And you got to credit Kuhn too. He's been booting it pretty well tonight, both on the PATs and the kickoffs. Don Moyer back to work, 1st down and 10. From his own 25-yard line, he'll hand off to Gensimer, who makes one man miss and charges his way up. Turned nothing into something. It's a 3-yard pickup. Under 7 to play in the third quarter. Well, West York was favored on paper. And we talked about the grit and toughness that ELCO has shown throughout, especially last season. And they obviously go through a gauntlet. They have tall test every single season, being in the section that they are, obviously while missing Twin Valley. The list goes on and on, but tonight it's been pretty tough, minus that big chunk pass down the near sideline to Yiser, and obviously that first only touchdown they've had. Don Moyer actually able to scramble for positive yardage. That's one of the few times tonight he's taken a snap and had time to actually see down the field. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. 3rd and 3 to be exact. Don Moyer limps back to the huddle. Don Moyer also a two-way player as a linebacker and quarterback. It's going to take a lot for him to ever come off of this field here tonight. Sends Gensimer into the slot. 3rd and 3. He'll hand to Yiser. He turns the corner, has a lot of room to work with. Charges down the near sideline, spins and makes a defender miss before he's brought down past the 50-yard line. Yiser hits the boost button and finally has the Razors into enemy territory. Clock continues to run. It's been a pretty quick third quarter overall past the midway point. One of the few times we've seen an empty backfield as well from Don Moyer in the Raiders offense. Gensimer gets the carry, has a couple of blockers, and he bulls his way forward past the 40-yard line. So how about that? A motion play works to perfection, and now Gensimer, one of the few times he's actually had some space to work with on the ground tonight as well. Ball's marked at the 39-yard line. That brings up a second down as we're under 5 to play in the third. The Raiders starting to work a little quicker. The eyes are in motion. Don Moyer fakes the pass. He'll run it himself, spins over a defender, and barrels his way forward. So how about ELCO? 3 separate runs, 3 separate chunk plays, and now they work deeper into the Bulldog territory. Ball now marked at the 29-yard line of West York. Don Moyer again, pressure, gets rid of it quickly, and a pass goes incomplete. That time, Don Moyer felt the pressure, knew he needed to get rid of it quickly, and he did. Just not an accurate pass to Gensimer. It would have been a short pickup anyway. And that'll stop the clock with 3:56 to play. Still a noticeable limp here from Don Moyer. He's been through a lot here tonight, and it's only week 1. He's got 9 more to go. Number 1, Caden Tillison into the game. Senior receiver, 6'2", 210. Bottom of your screen. Blitz is off. Don Moyer loses the football. It's on the turf. It looked like Yiser had it momentarily, but it's still loose. And West York comes up with another turnover. Wagner was on the bottom of that pile, stayed with it, and dove on the loose ball. Carter McLean, the senior, forced the fumble, number 64. And he's going to get some praise from some coaches and teammates as he heads towards the sideline. That's the third fumble of the game for Don Moyer at the quarterback spot. And now Ferber, who's dangerous in a close game, can play stress-free, and arguably that's more dangerous. High snap, and the handoff goes to Wagner. He's brought down after a pickup of about 1. Wagner gets another carry, and he maneuvers his way forward past the 40-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play. Under 3 minutes to play in the third. Ferber back to pass, another clean pocket, fires, and it's intercepted. Another ricochet. Zimmerman there when you need him most. Heads up play. And the Raiders force a turnover after Don Moyer lost it on the last possession. So Zimmerman, the junior, has his quarterbacks back, and obviously that'll create some momentum for an ELCO team that truly needs it here late stages of the third quarter. I think one of the things that's important to note, at least that we've seen, I think, all together so far in this one, is the pace that ELCO has played with. Sometimes when they work a little more quickly, it's worked in their favor. We'll see if that continues here on this drive. Don Moyer, pistol formation. The eyes are in motion. Don Moyer scrambles to his left, and he might just have to eat this one, and he does. Late hit out of bounds as Don Moyer's head hit the turf pretty hard. Don Moyer loves that left side. Just hasn't been able to find any sort of time to throw across his body even. And you can see him. He's taking a beating, and he's shaken up. No, he's fighting through some pain. McAfee into the huddle. Number 16. Loss of 1 on the play. It brings up a 2nd down and 11, just over 2 minutes to play in the 3rd. Gensimer, the tailback. Some more pre-snap motion. Gensimer gets the carry, has a blocker, and continues to charge his way forward past midfield, and he puts his head down, runs over a defender, and he's officially brought down at the 45-yard line of West York. Well, I tell you what, when Gensimer can get a full head of steam, he's dangerous. We've seen it briefly here tonight, and now Gensimer actually looks like he's shaken up. So now the starting quarterback and the starting tailback both dealing with limps. ELCO continues to show fight. They've picked up yardage offensively here tonight, just have nothing to show for it besides 1 touchdown on the scoreboard. The eyes are set up in the slot. Don Moyer keeps himself, and there's not much room to work with there as he's brought down after a pickup of 1. Hand off to Gensimer. Right up the gut. And that's a healthy carry. He's brought down just shy of the 1st down marker. But Gensimer continues to show fight, as does the whole ELCO offense here in this 3rd quarter. Under a minute to play until we enter the 4th. Not only are the Raiders showing a lot of fight here in the 3rd, but they're keeping that defense on the sidelines. One, maybe 2 more plays here before the expiration of the game clock. Don Moyer following his tailback, spins off a defender, and I don't know if he got it. And he did. So a fresh set of downs as we end the 3rd quarter. Don Moyer really struggling, but showing a lot of fight, a lot of heart as a whole. This ELCO team down 35-7, moving the football at a high level on this drive. We'll step aside. 4th quarter action coming your way next.
We're pretty big.
Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
As we begin the fourth quarter here at ELCO High School, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors and our fans who are tuned in watching us on the Flagship Network. Couldn't do it without you guys. And we appreciate you guys tuning in and hopefully catching us for the next 9 weeks after tonight. Again, next week, Manheim Township Central York will do battle. And we're excited to be there for that matchup. That'll be our second of 10 games on the docket here in the fall. Doesn't feel like the fall here tonight, but it will be in the coming weeks. Raiders moving the football well as they ended that third quarter on a high note. They push deeper now into enemy territory. Ball is marked at the 33-yard line. It's second down and 8. Yiser in motion at the bottom of your screen. Don Moyer will scramble to his right this time. Fires, and it's intercepted. Leitner, right spot, right time. And almost looked like no motion really from both sides of the ball there. But Don Moyer, one of the few times he's been able to scramble and actually get a lot of power on the throw. Unfortunately, threw it to the other team. Very interesting to see him scramble to his right most of the night. If you're just joining us, we've seen Don Moyer not only running for his life from the defensive line, but seems like a player that likes to scramble to his left instead of his right. This time, almost looked like a drawn-up play to get him out in space and fire on the run. And it results in a turnover. Ferber still in the game at quarterback. He'll hand off to Wagner, who's had a solid game on the ground, to say the least. And he works his way up towards the 20-yard line, brought down at the 18. We have a Raider cramping up on the play, and we've seen that multiple times here tonight, so luckily nothing serious. But we'll keep things here, 35-7 your score. I think one of the things we can all agree on here tonight is the Raiders' offense has been able to move the football, but the turnovers have hurt, to say the least. That's one of the main reasons why. They only have 7 points on the board, but they have chunk plays, chunk yards, and they've been able to move the football up and down the field. Problem is they haven't been able to take care of the football. Don Moyer with interception, 3 fumbles. It's been a sloppy game offensively. But the defense, if there's one positive note for ELCO, I know they've given up 35 points, but they've really been put in a lot of tough situations with their offense turning the football over in the red zone twice. And honestly have been able to make a couple of stands on the goal line as well. So Coach Miller on both sides, Coach Miller on West York, Coach Miller on ELCO, will have a lot to take from this game in week 1. A lot of things to build off of as they head into week 2. Again, Manheim Township Central York a week from tonight. Excited to see Manheim Township, B&B Media and Flagship Network. We were there covering them once or twice a season ago. Carson Weiser graduated, so new quarterback in town for Manheim Township, and I'm sure their fans are looking forward to that one. Again, 7 days from tonight. Second down and 9 out of the stoppage. Ball is marked at the 17-yard line. The give goes to Wagner. Maneuvers his way past the 20-yard line and brought down just shy of the 25. West York moves quickly. Wagner will get his number called again. He'll try the near sideline, and he dives forward across the 30. Well, I tell you what, first half for Wagner really didn't have to do too much. He had gaping holes to run through from his offensive line. Now he's had to do a little bit more dancing in the backfield. So he's starting to earn each and every yard he gets. High snap, give goes to Wagner, and he's brought down immediately around the line of scrimmage.
Wrapped up by 26,
Avery Schenk is in on the stop. Credit him with a big-time tackle there. And the defense, again, mentioned it previously during that most recent stoppage, has put together a pretty solid game. I know the score says differently. Kramer now the tailback, and he's brought down immediately in the backfield. Ferber kept it. Faked me out, faked our cameraman out a little bit.
Tackle right at the 39-yard line. It's 3rd down and 2.
QB sneak successful.
Ferber on the keeper. And is it up for a 1st down?
That's good enough to move the chains. West York now, with time on their side, continues to milk it for obvious reasons. Under 9 to play in the 4th. Great keeper on the last play by Ferber. Never good when the broadcaster gets faked out. And then able to move forward on the QB sneak for the 1st. Ferber will try the far sideline. Pass goes incomplete, probably on purpose, as Torres had 2 blue jerseys surrounding him.
It's 2nd down.
Kramer remains the tailback. He gets his number called. No, he doesn't. Ferber keeps it himself yet again. Another fake, and he's knocked out of bounds, just shy of 1st down yardage. It's a pickup of 9. I tell you what, the RPO is really coming into play here. I think it's really very well executed by the offensive coordinator of the Bulldogs, especially because we really didn't see Ferber run a whole lot, not even at all for the most part in that first half, and now he's starting to keep it himself. And I don't think the Raiders, and even myself, to be quite honest with you, are ready for it. It's been Wagner all night as the bell cow. He's off on the sideline now. Kramer will get some carries as the backup tailback. Again, almost midway through the 4th quarter. A 35-7 lead for West York. Kramer works on a couple of blue jerseys, and he's tackled around the 45-yard line.
Tackle by Colin Carpenter. 2nd down.
Colin Carpenter in there on the stop. And he will come off the field. Well-deserved break for Carpenter. He's played his heart out tonight at the nose tackle spot, having to deal with all those big bodies right in front of him. Ferber keeps it, fires, and that's a dangerous pass. Was looking for Madden, not on the same page. Rare to see that here tonight. Ferber, time to throw. Finds his man on the far sideline. And it's Beatty who's knocked out of bounds as he picks up the 1st down. Well, I tell you what, I'm super impressed with Jensen Ferber at the quarterback spot here tonight. Again, only a sophomore. Can't wait to see him play, obviously, throughout the rest of this season. And Lord knows how talented he'll be when he's a senior here at West York. Obviously, a lot of growing to do. but he's been so far so good here tonight. And he finds a wide open receiver. It's Torres down the near sideline, and he dances his way inside of the 10. Well, Ferber didn't have to do too much there, just had to throw it up, and Torres was wide open. Blown coverage there by the ELCO defense. And as we near the midway point of this fourth quarter, mentally it has to wear on you as an athlete, especially when you look up at the scoreboard. First down and 10. Ball's at the 14-yard line. Kramer gets the carry, maneuvers his way up a little bit, maybe a pickup of about 3 on the play. But more importantly, more time comes off of the clock. Rivera begins to warm up on the near sideline for ELCO, so we expect Donmore's night to be done. And Rivera, the freshman, may be getting his first snaps of his high school career. Madden catches the pass inside of the 10. Don't know if Rivera really expected to be getting reps this early in the season. He may have not even had his first class yet. Kramer takes the ball inside of the 5. Under 7 to play in the fourth. Well, even with this great momentum and really this great showing by West York in spurts, right? Both offensively and defensively, I think we both, on both sides, have really shown it, but we've all noticed it. They continue to move quickly, and now it's going to be a back shoulder fade into the end zone, and it's incomplete. Great coverage there by Showalter, the senior. Pretty good ball there for Beatty to go up and get, but better coverage. Ferber hands to Kramer, who runs into a hole, and he's not going to be able to come out of it. No gain on the play. So that'll bring up third down as we now are officially past the midway point of the fourth. Pitch play to Kramer. And he's into the end zone for a West York touchdown as they continue to pile it on here in the fourth. Well, Kramer's done a lot of dirty work. He's gotten his number called a lot more often here in the second half, and he earned that touchdown. I'll tell you that. Kuhn on for the extra point. Have to give a shout out to him. He's been perfect here tonight. Don't want to put the jinx on him, but you know, in closer games, those things matter, obviously, and he's been perfect here tonight. Looking to continue that. Kick is up. Kick is good. 42-7. West York having some fun here tonight on the road.
We're pretty big. Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Next week, it'll be Manheim Township and Central York. That game will be at Central York, so if you can't make it out, you can listen to it, hear it, see it right here on the Flagship Network. Appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. 42-7 your score. And it's one of those games where the score, outside of that drive, truly, that was just a flat-out drive dominated by the Bulldogs. Doesn't tell the full story, however. Turnovers obviously have mattered a ton. And ELCO will muster some sort of momentum here, late stages of the fourth quarter, to take in a practice this week. I know Coach Miller will be harping on some miscues, but kickoff goes out of bounds, and that'll be a penalty. Not too many positive things to take from this game for the fans that came out tonight to support the Raiders in their home opener. But hopefully you guys are all having a great start to your weekends. You enjoy it as these student athletes get ready for the first week of classes. Kuhn to kick off with 5:34 to play in the fourth. Another solid boot. It's been happening all game long, but it goes out of bounds yet again. So it's another penalty marker. And right as I praised Kuhn for going perfect on the PATs, he's now sent 2 out of bounds on back-to-back kicks. Two penalty markers down on the field. We'll see if they're offsetting.
Okay, we have offsetting penalties on that last.
And indeed, they are offsetting penalties.
Penalty on West York. Then, unsportsmanlike conduct, and that is also on West York. First down, ELCO across midfield at the 45.
So after all the dust settles, it's first down and 10 at the 45-yard line for ELCO. So 2 kicks out of bounds. All of a sudden, the Raiders have possession for the first time tonight, truly, to open a possession in enemy territory. Don Moore still in the game at quarterback. Yizer goes in motion. Don Moore takes the snap, really has no time to throw. It's a slip screen, and Gessimer unable to come up with it. Would have had plenty of room to work with. But I think he started to run before he caught the pass. Don Moyer pumps, fires, and it goes incomplete. Behind Yiser and in front of Tillison.
Looking for Tillison. It's third down.
Just over 4 minutes to play in the fourth. Third down and 10. Don Moyer scrambling to his left. Feels some pressure. Able to turn the corner, create some running room. And he's tackled late out of bounds. No flag. And again, it could have been thrown. There wasn't one. I guess everybody wants to get out of here at this point. Under 4 to play in the fourth, with the score being what it is. I mean, I think Don Moyer was tackled past the second white line on that play. Regardless, it's first down and 10 from the West York 35-yard line. Well, the RPO has worked successfully, for West York. Not so much for ELCO here tonight. Don Moyer's been taking a beating as a passer, also as a runner as well, and even so as a linebacker. Just not a lot of running room. We've seen a couple of spurts by Yiser and Gensimer, but Don Moyer just outside of that 10-yard pickup he just had, nowhere to go. ELCO has had some success running to the outside of the tackles, not so much up the gut. Don Moyer back to pass, fires a deep one down the near sideline, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Tillison. Unable to connect on that play. One of the few times tonight we've seen a deep shot by Don Moyer.
It's third down.
That'll bring up a third down and 12. Gensimer gets his number called, and he runs into a wall of 3 white jerseys. Credit Ruffin on the tackle.
Tackled by Carter McLean, number 64. It's fourth down.
Running clock here. Late stages of the fourth. Don Moyer fires off his back foot and wasn't able to get rid of the football. Moore gets credit with the sack, and they're starting to pile up when you look at the stat sheet. And as it starts to pile up, it starts to end, and that's kind of where we're headed right now. So the final play of the game for ELCO offensively ends in a sack, and it's kind of been the story of the game so far. Here in early stages, obviously only week 1 of the season, but will that be a story moving forward? God knows. I guess we're going to find out. But I tell you what, a lot to look forward to here in 2025 for West York to come in put up 42 points on the opponent's turf. And really, that defense is scary. Again, we mentioned all 11 starters back from a season ago, and they showed it here tonight. Multiple sacks, and not only that, they came from multiple players. Not one man standing out as the sign of respect post-game as everyone shakes hands. And not only that, it's honestly been pretty fun to watch the offense explode. Ferber, I'm sure if you talk to him after the game, he wouldn't be too crazily impressed with his performance here tonight, but all that matters is winning. I mean, you look up at the scoreboard, 42-7 is your final score. So both teams obviously will take this film into a week of practice and see what they can put on a week from tonight. For ELCO, they obviously dropped to 0-1 on the season. They will head to Conrad Weiser on August 28th at 7 p.m. And they will obviously have their first road game of the season and a road test, and hopefully shake off some of those nagging injuries that their starting quarterback has. Not only that, but some important pieces overall. For West York, great for them to go on the road and get a victory and put an exclamation point on it with a 42-7 victory. But they will be at home against Red Lion on August 29th. That game will be at 7 p.m., so I'm sure they're looking forward to their home opener in front of their fans, especially with a record of 1-0. Jensen Ferber, player of the game. Pick your poison really with it. Could have went Madden. Could have won a couple of defensive players as well, quite honestly. Fuentes Bream had a great game defensively. And obviously Aiden Wagner as well at the running back position. But got to give it to Ferber. After the interception on the opening drive, he really settled in. Could give it to the offensive line as a whole for protecting him so well all game long. He really never had pressure throughout. Clean pocket all game long, able to step up, get into those deep throws. And Torres, I'm sure, had a field day on the outside as a receiver. 3 catches of 20-plus yards on the night for Torres. I just want to say thank you everyone for watching. Shout out to Flagship Network and obviously B&B Media for putting this on. And we're not done yet. We'll wrap things up with a post-game report and get you ready for next week, week 2 of our schedule.
We're pretty big. Yeah, people say we're giants.
You call that giant? This is giant. At Dean's Auto Plaza, we have a giant selection of quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all at prices that will not crush your budget.
Okay, he's the real giant.
Yeah.
Come see why they call Dean's Auto Plaza York's used car giant.
Welcome back to ELCO High School, everyone. Max Gretzula with you here tonight. It's been a fun one throughout. Started out really lackluster on both sides of the football, but when all was said and done, it was West York walking away with the victory here tonight on the road, 42-7. Jensen Ferber, our player of the game, number 10, the quarterback for West York, came into this one, opening drives, threw the interception near the goal line. He was able to rebound off of that, and it was really a big testament to the defense overall, who was able to force multiple turnovers in the red zone against ELCO, setting up Ferber and company for some big-time plays and obviously some big-time touchdowns. Have to give a shout-out to Torres as well. 3 catches of over 20-plus yards here tonight. He's going to be a one to watch moving forward for West York at the wide receiver position, and Aiden Wagner as well. He got the job done on the ground here tonight as a whole. Really great rushing attack. And last but not least, the trenches, offensively and defensively for West York. They just bullied ELCO throughout the entire game, and that's one of the main reasons why this one ended with a score of 42-7. So that wraps up week 1 for us. Next week we'll be at Central York. It'll be Manheim Township taking on the Blue Streaks. It'll be our second matchup of the season during our 10-week span of games, and that'll be a fun one. Manheim Township, a lot to look forward here in 2025. Central York, obviously, as well. Central York will have the home field advantage in that one. Matchup week number 2. We'll see you tonight. Friday Night Lights, 7 days from tonight.